What's up, guys? This is Arcade CA here. I was gonna try and do an in-game recording of World of Tanks, but when I tried that, I lagged out very bad. So I'm just gonna do a small little garage video, show off what I have. And for starters, I got the M22 Locust light tank. It's a premium tank you can buy from the American tech tree. It's a low profile tank. It's fast. I like it. Um, it's got a pretty decent gun on it for its tier. Like all light tanks, it's good for scouting out the artillery, but I won't rant much on about the M22 Locust. I would recommend it for anyone who's looking to have a little fun on the maps, wreak some havoc on the enemy team. This is definitely a recommendation. Next, I got an M4 Sherman tank. It's not the greatest medium tank, I know. I just started out on the medium tank line because I was busy with the heavy tanks and the tank destroyers. Sadly, it's not the greatest medium I've used. Its armor is pretty sad. The gun, however, is pretty good. Good penetration and good damage. I can definitely give like a T1 heavy tank or a KV a run for their money when I'm running this, but it cannot take much of a hit. Pretty decent speed. Traverse speed is pretty good. So you're probably wondering, like, you see the T30 down there and why I still have a T34. This is mainly why. Later on, they're going to be releasing an update, probably in November or December, that will make the T34 a Tier 8 premium tank, as most of you already know that. So I decided to keep mine. It's just going to sit here for the time being. I really don't have the credits to give it a crew. I transferred the previous crew over to my T30. Now, people often say that the T34 isn't that great. I beg to differ. I will agree, though, first off, that when armed with the 105mm, it is a pretty sad tank, but once you gain the 120mm cannon, it is quite good. And the reason being is because you'll notice that it has the highest rate of fire of all Tier 9 heavy tanks. So, along with a high rate of fire and some pretty decent damage, it can prove to be quite useful in the battlefield. And that's the reason I like it. I had fun with it when I was using it, and pretty soon I'll be using it again once it becomes a Tier 8 premium, because like all Tier 8 premiums, it's probably going to get a pretty cool credit buff, so it'll earn some extra credits when I use it. And yeah, also, for those of you who are wondering, it will keep its 120mm cannon when it's being revised, so I'm pretty sure most of you are happy about that. Next up, I have the T95 tank destroyer, Tier 9. First thing you're going to notice when you drive it, it is slow. It is very slow. Slowest traverse speed, slowest top speed in the game, even slower than a mouse. But the cannon that you can acquire more than makes up for its sluggish speed, as it rivals the BL-10 cannon on the Object 704. Now the reason I like this tank is because it is very, very well armored, especially in the front, a foot thick of steel in the front. pretty decent sides, but still lacking in the rear armor. So because of its slowness, medium tanks will easily expose the weakness of the rear armor, and you'll be taken down quite easily, sadly. And because of its slow speed, artillery likes to pick on the T95 most of the time. But like I said, the 155mm cannon that you can unlock, it deals some pretty impressive damage. I like it. I would recommend it for anyone who wants to have a pretty strong tank and deal the same amount of damage. Last but not least, we got the Tier 10 heavy tank of the American Army, the T-30. Now, a lot of people say that the T-30 cannot go head-to-head with the IS-7, E-100, or the Mouse. I agree with that, and then I sometimes don't agree with that. Like, in my situations, I have been able to combat IS-7s head-on and beat them relatively easily. People don't understand that they got a pretty powerful cannon, but you just gotta make sure that you keep the whole armor hidden. You know, there's gonna be certain times where you're gonna have to take a hit, but don't forget your cannon is more powerful than their cannon most of the time. And up against a Mouse or an E-100, obviously you're gonna be gonna have some hard time taking them on, mostly because they are more armored and, well, they're gonna have a lot more health than you, sadly. But never forget that you bear the most powerful Tier 10 gun, so just make sure. And it's not a very slow tank either, it's actually quite fast. I know it's not as fast as the IS-7, but it can still get up and go. That's pretty much all I have to show you right now. If you have any questions regarding the T-34 revision or the T-110 replacement of the T-30, you can ask me about that. I'll help you out with that. If you like this video, rate, subscribe, leave comments. That's all I really have to say right now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry about the lag. I'll try and get that fixed by building a whole new computer. So, have fun. Hope you enjoyed the video.